Howdy y'all, it's Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns in beautiful, oh, look at that blue sky. That is beautiful. It is Saturday, July the 12th. Oops, I got my light still on, let me turn it off. 2025. And I have a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. Mostly it's equipment related. So I made a few modifications to the ramp of the box truck, and I'm going to show you what I did. It's halfway done. So this was the ramp that I put on. This was like 1/4-inch plywood you guys have seen, and I had the grip tape. This has been on about 2 years and it's deteriorating. This was only meant to be temporary, but I went ahead and replaced both pieces on this with, this is 20 gauge sheet metal, galvanized. It's got the same grip tape and it is bolted. This time I used 1/4 with nylock nuts on the back. This will prevent a couple things. It'll prevent the ramp from warping. This stuff will probably last a lot longer. This was painted. I painted this in an effort to try to minimize some of the water damage. I didn't use pressure treated on this because it would have been too heavy. And this was just, I wanted to just do a proof of concept. So anyway, this piece of sheet metal, basically this is 2 feet by 4 feet. So there's one here and there's one on the other side, but it works phenomenal. And it is a little heavier than this, but you can't really feel it because these ramps are heavy anyway. These are the 2 pieces that I took off here. So these are just going to get thrown away, but they work. I cannot tell you how nice it is to have something that's really super grippy on here. So I highly recommend that if you use ramps, because I have busted my butt on more than one occasion with dew. Hold on, let me turn this off. Not doo-doo, not poo dew from a dog, but dew from the wet grass. Or in the winter, when it's below freezing and there's ice on there, I have fallen. So that thing can be frozen, it can be sopping wet, it doesn't matter, you will not slip on it. All right, so, and I've got my other 2 pieces. I'm waiting on some more, my order of grip tape to do this. And if you want to do something like this on your expanded metal, whether you have a box truck or a trailer or whatever, my ramp rack, not ramp rack, if you have a ramp rack or my mow and go system, I put this directly on the expanded metal and it just doesn't last. It works phenomenal, but you could also, you know, put a small piece or 2 of sheet metal on there if you wish, and it will work very well. All right, that's the first thing I want to talk about. Let me clean the dust off of this. Okay, so issue number 2 is I have a trimmer, one of my Echo 2620Ts. Something's wrong with it. So I'm going to show you what it's doing, and then we'll diagnose it together. Okay, so yesterday, when I was using this, probably the last 10 minutes of working, it started to run really bad. The throttle response was getting very poor. It was starting to bog down and would not idle. So I'm going to show you exactly. I'm going to crank it up and hopefully it will do it. I'm going to show you what it's doing, and then I'm going to show you the quick steps that if your trimmer does this, to diagnose it and to get it fixed. Fortunately, I had a backup trimmer or 2 in the truck, so I kept working, but I'm going to show you what this is doing. Let me get the camera set up and we'll see what's wrong with this. All right, so this has not been run today, and I'm just going to prime it a little bit, put the choke on, we'll see if it starts. There you go. Once the Echo pops off, it's supposed to start. Now, normally it will stay running. Let me give it a little bit of throttle. Okay, these trimmers are not supposed to do that whatsoever. So what do we do? Well, first thing I'm going to do is get this set up right here. All right, so obviously the very first thing to check is to make sure you have enough fuel. And the one thing that you want to do, you can see that there's plenty of fuel in there, but I want to also, this is really awkward. Sorry about this. There we go. You want to make sure that the fuel filter and line are still, sometimes if you flip the trimmer over to edge, the fuel filter will get stuck up here out of the fuel, which it's not. You can also take the primer bulb and do this and hear it. You can feel it circulating the premix, so we know that the fuel filter is down where it's supposed to be. All right, next thing we want to do, it's a quick check, is take the air filter cleaner off. Just want to look at it. Okay, so this is the clean side. Look in there, that's fine. And here's the dirty side. This was replaced. Hello, Mr. Bird. Oh, he's pretty bold. Look at that. You all right? Anyway, you got the pre-filter foam element there. So I'm going to take a paper towel and clean that. But just kind of look in there. Look at your action of your throttle. And it should go full stop to full open. Also, take your hand and see if you can wiggle the carburetor and manifold assembly at all. This one's tight. I have seen these loosen up before and it lets air in the back, which is very bad because now you get unfiltered air in the engine. But that's not a problem on this one. So I'm going to clean the edge of this up real fast and then we'll be right back. All right, so I got that cleaned and have that put back on. Now you see the dirt and the grass in here. That's not going to cause it to run bad, but it just bothers me. So what I'm going to do is I've got, let me see if this will just sit here like this. All right, so I'm just going to take something to do this over like this, and I'm going to spray with, you can use carbon choke cleaner or you can use brake parts cleaner. Just do it like this. All right, so see how much cleaner that is? Okay, now if you have a steel trimmer that's a 4MX, it's got valves, you're on your own. You could have valve train problems if it's not running well. It's one of the reasons I just never understood people that use the steel 4MX. Why? mean, why complicate your life? I don't. I never understood it. I don't get it. All right, so the main thing that this is probably doing is it's probably got a fouled plug. So I'm going to take this boot off right here. I'm going to go get a brand new plug. We'll take this plug out and we'll see what happens. All right, so I've got the boot off. I just used a screwdriver to pry up right into here. I've got a brand new plug. And this happens to take, what size is this? It's just a 5/8. I think a lot of stick equipment will take this plug. It happens to be a NGK CMR7H. Don't use the cheap Amazon plugs. These things are not very expensive and they run so much better with having, you wouldn't think that that would make a big difference, but it does. Also, before you take the plug out, which I did blow out this area right here to make sure there's no grass or debris in there. And it doesn't look terrible, but here's our new plug. We're just gonna, these are so cheap, we're just gonna switch it out. Now, how long will a plug last? Well, that depends on a lot of factors. Depends on what kind of fuel you're running. I only run ethanol-free fuel. Depends on what kind of fuel mixture you're running, like your ratio, the brand of oil. I use the Amsoil Sabre, and this has been the only thing I've ever used in here. Okay, so let's see if we can look at this plug a little closer. There is some carbon on there, which is normal. Now, I'm not one that runs my trimmers wide open. I never have. I've broken a glass door before, and I wasn't even running it wide open. You're just asking for trouble. Now, if it warrants running wide open, then sure, of course. But all right, so let's see if this thing will start up now. I'm not even going to put the choke on. Let's see what happens. That's how fast this should start up. Echo 2-stroke equipment, I don't care what it is, if it's a blower, anything, when it's warm or it's been run a little bit, it should start in like half of a pull. When it's cold and you have to use the choke, usually you'll take 2 or 3 pulls before it pops off. It's not going to start, then you just put the choke down and it'll fire right up. This has 589.2 hours. So that's all it was. So I recommend that you make sure that you have replacement plugs for every piece of equipment that you have on your truck. That was an easy fix. Here is the question of the day. Here is the question. You got into this far in the video. Do you carry spare parts for your equipment, whatever you have on your truck, your trailer, whatever? Do you carry spare parts? And tell me what kind of spare parts you normally carry. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys on the next video.